Newsflash is brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise. Still, fun papa fee.
And the News Flash segment is proudly brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise. Still phone Papa Perfie. I know I've been gone for a while. I'm back. And it feels good to be back, I must say. And it feels good to be back because I kid you not, the whole of this year, as if the year is, we are middle of the year, but we are not. We are just 3 weeks or 4 weeks, almost 4 weeks into the year. And I'm still, we're still grinding. We are here again, and we can't wait to hear your voices this morning. So don't forget to send us your messages on 055-157-5757, 055-157-5757, and let's get talking. We know we have a new president, and he started working. Are you happy with some of the minister designate and some of the CEOs designate so far? Or you think that other people deserve to be at other places? Also, we've been speaking about Galamsey. Last year, it was one of the biggest conversations. Now, yesterday, we didn't hear good news because when we talk about Galamsey, people have said there should be shoot to kill. People have said that, no, go ahead and arrest these men. Now, yesterday, at the Anglo Gold Ashanti, something happened. Now, 7 men lost their lives. We have seen the Ghana Military Service actually release a statement on what actually happened. Anglo Gold has also released a statement on what happened, and we know the president has also spoken about that. We'll take a look at that, and also we'll take a look at how vetting is ongoing. Do you think the people who are vetting are credible enough to vet, or we should still add some individual experts to that table or to that board? Well, join the conversation and let's get talking. I want to read the newspapers and then we can delve into our topic for this morning. Before then, I want to say a very big thank you to Franco Trading Enterprise. Now, this year, make sure that you go to Franco Trading Enterprise for all your gadgets. So no matter the gadgets you're looking for, whether mobile phones, televisions, CCTV cameras, we say worry no more because we've got you covered. Now, this year is even a notch higher. Just come to any of our shops and we'll serve you. Our customer service is top notch. Yes, you heard it right here on Prime Morning. The numbers are on your screen. Just pick the numbers. Call us. Please do not go on Google to pick any number because that is not the right channel to pick the numbers. Just pick the numbers right here. Or you can make things simple. Just download the app on your phone, which is Franco Trading app, or visit our website, www.francotradingenterprise.com. Franco Trading Enterprise, still, phone papa fee. Now I'll take the Daily Graphic newspaper as my first newspaper. The Daily Graphic newspaper. President Mahama asked Asante to help address economic woes. And yesterday, of course, the president was in the Ashanti region, and it was all about the Akwesi Dai Festival. And, during that visit, he did mention that he's going to make sure that he turns our woes around. But then he needs the support of the Asante. Constitution Review Committee formed, expect to present recommendations in 5 months. It looks like there's going to be a review of our Constitution. Let's not forget that President Mahama, during the time of his campaign, did mention that if elected as president, he was going to review the Constitution. And so the committee has been set. And in the next 5 months, let's see the changes that will take place in our Constitution. I don't know if we like to see that happen or we are very comfortable with the current state of our Constitution. The next story is to do with declare assets before taking office. Shraj charges public officers in new government. How many times haven't we heard this? It's actually in the law, but they still do not declare. Must Shraj actually remind them of this before they do it? Gala. 8 killed in clash with military at Anglo Gold Ashanti Obuasi mine, and this is our main conversation for this morning. I'll do the Daily Dispatch next. The Daily Dispatch. Mahama to submit final batch of ministers to Parliament today. Ex gratia will not do to Akufo-Addo what he did to Mahama. Joyce Bar Mokhtari says so. What did he do? AC gives updates on Ablekuma North constituency, and there's so much that's happening. So we are still not done with our elections with regards to members of parliament. It looks like people are calling you out, and we know you are credible. We know you can do it. So we are hoping that before the month ends, you'll be able to give us some sort of, answers or resolution to whatever is happening, because everything lies in your bosom right now. Nobody can say anything. It's up to you to make sure that everything goes well. So, EC, you are our last hope. The Ghanaian Publisher newspaper is the next newspaper. The Ghanaian Publisher, Akufo-Addo gives thanks to God. I did my best for Ghana, he says so. Honorable Intim Fodjo slams Mahama over LGBTQ plus U10. Military kills 7 illegal miners in Obuasi. Mahama orders investigations. EC appeals for security to complete Ablekuma North collation. But I thought there was injunction on these collations. So what's happening, EC? Or maybe EC hasn't received the injunction? I don't know, because I thought there was an injunction there. Anyway, the Ghanaian Times newspaper is the next newspaper. The Ghanaian Times, Professor H. Kwesi Prempeh chairs Constitutional Review Committee. Government provides lifeline to SHS. Ghana on high alert for acute respiratory infections. Ghana Health Service released the statement on Saturday. And so please, if you are out there, take very good care of yourself. If you can, make sure you wear a mask. If you can, also use your hand sanitizers, wash your hands as frequent as possible, and try as much as possible to avoid crowded places. If you have any signs or symptoms of flu, just make sure you go to the hospital to get checked. Bloody, 15 people dead, houses torched in Obuasi in contact clashes. And I don't know about the 15 people though, but we are just hoping that calm is restored in Obuasi soon. Multi-billion-dollar investment signals new era of industrial transformation for West Africa. And that will be all with regards to what the newspapers are reporting this morning. So I have my first guest seated right here. I must say this is my first time meeting him. So hello, Honorable.
Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My first time meeting you.
First time meeting you too.
Yes, and Honorable is, he's a former Majority Chief Whip and MP for Pandai, Honorable Matthew Nyindam. Did I pronounce your name well?
That's right.
Fantastic. I hope everything is all right, though.
We are doing very well.
Great. And he's representing the NPP this morning. Honorable, let me briefly talk about what is happening in Obuasi. We know you've heard about it. It's beginning to look more political, I must say, because that's, from what we are seeing. And for those of you who don't know much about it, now, yesterday dawn around 2 a.m., I don't know if the incident happened around 2 a.m. or it happened around 12 midnight or 11 p.m. But there was a clash between some illegal miners, that is what they are termed as, or some citizens of Obuasi, where they tried to invade Anglo-Gold Ashanti. Now, from what the military says, they were armed men. This is what the military says. These men were armed, so they didn't go without arms, and they were not shot without any provocation. From the military, they say that as they were armed, they decided to fire first. So the firing didn't come from the military, but rather from these armed men. And so in defense, the military fired them, causing the lives of 7 persons. Now, other reports says 8, some saying 15 now, but in actual fact, the military says 7 persons lost their lives, and also one of the military men has been injured. Now, out of this, the president has spoken, and one of the things that the president said was that he's going to make sure that investigations are done, and of course, the culprits are brought to book. And also, if there's anybody in the military that called for the shot, of course, that person will also be brought to book. But when the investigations are done, who will be found, guilty? That's the question. But Honorable, what's your take on it?
Well, my dear sister, good morning.
Good morning once again.
And good morning to your viewers and the good people of Pandai. Then the former Deputy Majority Chief Whip is not the main Majority Chief Whip.
Right. I think I mentioned former, right?
Yeah, former Deputy.
Deputy, okay.
Yes,
okay.
yes,
all right.
yes. Well, I listened to the story. I watched some excerpts of what happened. And then the first place, my condolences to the bereaved family. And then to whoever suffered whichever way. It's an unfortunate situation. But like you rightly said, Galamsey has been a problem and a thorn in our flesh. Everybody. It's been a serious matter. And I'm sure when the president was giving his, let me use the word, say, closing remarks, when he was giving the last state of his nation, he really said the fight against Galamsey is a serious battle for all of us. And for that matter, he couldn't achieve whatever he intended. The way he thought he was going to be able to fight and eradicate Galamsey, he couldn't do it. I like where you are coming from, the angle that it's becoming political. And it has always been political. And that is where the challenge is. That's where the challenge is. If we don't take away politics from certain aspects of our lives, we'll keep getting this day in and day out. 8 people are gone. Whoever found later, for whatever investigation comes up, and then one is found culpable, they cannot bring back the 8 people.
Yeah.
There are other people who have sustained serious injuries. They cannot bring them back. I'm telling you, in a week, in a month, or in a year's time, all those victims, everybody will forget about them. What happens to their families? These are things that everybody, the young guys, those down there, these are things that we should reflect on. Now, let's back to the story. I've read the statement from the military.
The military. I think we have the statement from the military, so maybe we'll project the statement from the military so that those of you at home will also see what the military did say.
Yes, I've read that statement. And if you listen to, or if you read it carefully, the military are saying that those Galamsey or illegal people came there well armed.
Yes.
And even the firing started from their end. So, obviously, why are we giving military people weapons? Why are they using it for? They are holding those arms to defend themselves in terms of cases like, because I wouldn't be holding a gun and then allow somebody to come and kill me. So, for whatever reason, they also decided to fire back. That is the side of the military. Now, if you listen to some radio interviews and some media, social media reports, they are also claiming that those guys who went there were not armed. They went there harmlessly. So whom do we believe?
They went there harmlessly.
That's what this is.
But what did they go to do?
They went there because they went there to go for the gold. They went to mine.
They went...
Anglo-Gold Ashanti to take over.
How do you take over somebody's company?
That is where the problem is.
Is that not illegal?
Obviously, it's an illegal
Because
act.
if you are in your house and somebody invades your house telling you that I'm coming to take your property, how is that legal?
That is what I'm saying. That's where the political angle is coming from. If you listen to the NDC side, because I also saw, what's the name? Yamin and some group of people who also went there to visit them. And if you look at the way they spoke, our government is in power. Our government is in power. These statements, they are not good statements. As we speak today, we have only one government, and it's our government, everybody. It is not an NDC government. It's not exclusive an NDC. Yes, although we all know very well that the government today rode on the shoulders of the ticket of the NDC. They want power, and we all admit that. But when you get power, power is for everybody. So if you are behind and you are pushing young men that, look, when we get power, we will give you the opportunity to go and take over areas that you cannot take over. These are the consequences. These are the challenges. Because if you listen to the woman organizer, the way she was speaking, the way she was urging them, look, if we win power, we are going to take this place. We are going to be allowed to work here.
But did they mention names of companies that they were going to take over?
We are going to allow you to also go and do your galamsey.
Which one are you talking about? Which of the videos are you talking about?
There is a video that has to do with one woman organizer.
I've seen that video. I think I'll try and, let us play that video because I don't want us to have misinformation as well.
I'm not directing the commentary of that woman organizer directly to Anglo Gold Ashanti. That's not what I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm just talking about people being urged to go and take over mining centers. So these people decided that they want Anglo Gold Ashanti.
All right.
And it is in Obuasi.
All right, let me read what the military said. This is from the Ghana Armed Forces. It said, issued by the Department of Public Relations, General Headquarters, Bema Camp, Accra. Illegal miners fire at troops on duty at Anglo Gold Ashanti mines. And it reads, on Saturday, 18th of January 2025, at about 11 p.m., illegal miners, numbering about 60, breached the Anglo Gold Ashanti mine security fence and intruded at Cote d'Ivoire ramp. The aim of the illegal miners was to enter the deep decline of the mines. The military patrol deployed on Operation Halt 2 duties at the mentioned location were fired upon by the illegal miners when the soldiers tried to stop them from accessing the deep decline. The illegal miners were wielding locally manufactured rifles, pump-action guns, gas cylinders, knives, heavy-duty industrial bolts, cutlass, axes, and machetes. The troops returned fire in the self-defense. The shootouts led to the death of 7 illegal miners and 1 seriously injured. The remaining illegal miners bolted away. A soldier who was also hit by pellets from a pump-action gun and got injured has been treated. 6 pump-action BB cartridges were retrieved. So if they have all these evidences, then it means that the men went out.
Exactly. Even assuming without admitting that they went there even harmlessly. Are you getting me? You go into an area knowing very well that this is a company's access, Anglo Gold Ashanti. You went there, you saw the military men. What will bring about the confrontation? You walk away. And I'm not sure that we have such heartless military people in this country who will just sit down and when people come there, they pick their guns and begin to kill them. Please, let's credit ourselves some kind of integrity because nobody will do that. Nobody will do that. So for the military to have gone to this extent tells you that the guys who went there with these arms. They went there to take over. And when, after December 7th, and they swore in, we also what went on. Everybody wanted to go and take whatever belongs to him illegally or legally. Buses that were carrying goods, and they suspected that these goods were, excuse me to say, smuggling goods, they pounced on them and they took them. Even food that were sending to the free secondary schools. Do you know that we have to get military to escort some of this food to the various secondary schools? Because if you allow those cars to go, individuals, suspected NDC supporters, will pounce on those cars and pick all those goods that are not for them. You see, when you begin to behave this way, you open up for an unfortunate incident like what really happened. But I think that, like, the president also came out with a statement. They want to go into proper investigation, see who did what and who did not do what. But I think that galamsey is a very serious matter for all of us. And as a nation, we should take politics out of it. I remember some time passed before the elections. We all went there. People go there and encourage them. When we win, we are allowing you. You're going to have access to this gold. You vote for us. Now we have won power. They are going back for the gold. Can they get it? Is it lawful? Are they going to be dying the way they are dying? Or we are going to have a master plan to deal with this situation? And I think that going forward, that is what we have to do. As a nation, we should have a meaningful conversation about this galamsey. else it's not going to help anybody.
Now, one thing the president said was that government has meanwhile asked the management of Anglo Gold Ashanti to bear the medical expenses of the injured individuals fully and to facilitate the burial arrangement for those who have lost their lives.
So if you do that, it means that you have just started condemning Anglo Gold Ashanti.
Without investigation.
Without investigation. Why should they? Why should they bear the cost? For whatever reason. Is it because they are vulnerable as a company? Obviously, they cannot fight government. Why should they do that? If you do that, you see, you are encouraging people to misbehave. If you come out with this statement, you are encouraging people to misbehave. Why should Anglo Gold Ashanti be responsible for that? There was a crash. People went there. In any case, we are talking about Anglo Gold Ashanti's premises. Why should they be responsible for that? I think that, well, I don't speak for Anglo Gold Ashanti, but I think that is below the belt.
Well, they released a statement.
Yes, that is below. Anglo Gold also releases. Well, I haven't seen that one, but I think that is below the belt. The Ghana government should be responsible because we are a government. And if people have gone to misbehave and we are yet to get the facts, you don't just condemn one party. Because immediately you consign those kind of hospital bills, whatever, to Anglo Gold Ashanti, it means that you have already started condemning them. And I don't think that Anglo Gold Ashanti's lawyers will allow this to happen.
All right, so this is what they said in their statement. Anglo Gold Ashanti confirms that on the evening of 18 January, an incident occurred in the fenced operational area in the northern part of the company's Obuasi concession. A large group of armed illegal miners attempted to forcibly gain unauthorized access to mine infrastructure. Authorities mobilized to defend against this attack and to ensure the safety and security of employees and those in the immediate surroundings. The authorities have confirmed that 7 illegal miners tragically lost their lives in this incident and that a number of the illegal miners and a member of the public security forces were injured. The situation at the mine, is currently calm and the company is working closely with the authorities. Our primary concern is the safety and health of our employees and those in our community who have been directly impacted by this incident.
Yes, so, well, they are also admitting what happened at their sites.
Yeah.
And they really haven't responded to whatever the president has said concerning the payment of and taking responsibility of, and there are other properties.
I think for that probably they'll leave it for their lawyers, right?
Obviously, but maybe the statement came late.
Okay.
Maybe their statement came earlier than this other statement. So right. Maybe that's why maybe they haven't commented on it. But in any case, Anglo Gold Ashanti also lost property. I'm told most of the vehicles that were parked there.
Yeah, their vehicles were bent. I think we have.
So who is going to bear that cost too? You see, when issues happen like this, I think that with all due respect to the presidency, we've gone past campaign. We've gone past that level. He's here to govern us. He's not here to govern a section of persons. He's governing Ghana. And every Ghanaian, and even foreigners who live in this country, we need leadership from them. They maybe knee-jerk approach to some of these issues might not help us. It might not help us because Galamsey, for some reason, has come to stay. It has come to stay. It is as old as anything.
But we can do something about it.
We obviously must do something about it, my sister. We must. It is a must because if we don't do anything about it, we are going to suffer. Because if you listen to people in the water sector, the complaints they are giving, the medical sector, the complaints they are giving. Look, if you listen to the clergy in this country before elections, this is the first time you see the clergy coming out to demonstrate and talk about Galamsey. It's not a mere issue. So president has been confronted with this. This is the first maybe challenge, the biggest challenge that he has been confronted with. He should take time. He should take his time. And let's look into this matter. It's very, very critical. Because if you allow yourselves and you make people feel like we have a government, that will be with us. even when we are wrong, it's not going to help us.
Could it be that
it's not going to help us.
The president didn't really hear the full side of the story before they released the statement?
Maybe I should give that benefit, but that's why I'm saying that he's here to govern us. He has 4 years to govern us. And some of these issues, you see, if you are an opposition leader, you can easily say things like this and go. But you are in government.
Yeah, but
you are in government.
I'll say that if even the president didn't hear the full side of the story, I'll say that then they erred because, for the kind of office they occupy, they unfortunately don't have an opportunity to make some mistakes that others have the opportunity to make. And so from that office of the presidency, unfortunately, certain things you have to take your time before you release statements on them. All right, so we've been joined by Nana Yalsapong. Good morning, Nana.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm so
Afishiapa.
Afisisena, you are always beautiful as you are.
Amen.
And, Senior is
my boss.
Hey, Chief Whip. Surprisingly, people do not know what it takes to be a Chief Whip.
Yeah.
In the UK, if you have studied the terrain very well, anybody who has become a prime minister was once a Chief Whip.
Yeah.
It is bigger than being a majority or minority leader.
Yeah.
It's the biggest position you can occupy in the house of the legislation. Yeah. And it's a big one.
Yeah,
so
he's a big man. A very big man.
We are honored to have him. You control the soldiers.
Yeah, you control everything. So it's a big one.
We are honored to have him. Anyway, we are talking about the situation at Obuasi. And we want to hear your take on it as well. Because the presidency has released a statement, the Ghana Military Service has released a statement, and also Anglo Gold Ashanti has released a statement.
Yes. I first, good morning to your cherished viewers and the people behind the Afrafranto and the entire of Ghana.
People are saying Afrafranto has joined the NDC.
People are saying.
Have you?
Is that what it is?
I'm asking you.
Is that what it is?
Have you?
Why would I leave the seat of government to just go and support somebody? No. But once we are done with elections, all right, there is a need for us to come together to govern the nation. You understand? We do not have to be in that position whereby it is going to be a 4 years of continuous campaign and continuous backlashing and praying that the government would poorly perform. We are all in this country. If they do well, it would affect us. If they don't, it would affect us. It's our responsibility as patriotic citizens to give them the support they need. And if you remember, during Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo's first inaugural speech, he says that we should be citizens and not spectators. And so as citizens, even if you look into Article 41, what are your responsibilities as a citizen? And that is what we are doing. We are giving the government the support they need. And then we are an eye, because we are watching. Fortunately or unfortunately, JDM has been there before. And if you look at his line of appointments, you will notice that they have also been there before. So they do not have a reason to fail. But if we do not give them the support they need as a people, then it means that we are actually setting up the traps for them to fail. And is that what we want? No, we shouldn't be that reserve player who is praying that the main player on the pitch should break his leg so that you can go and play. Right. No. Whether or not, I think that there are times and seasons. But back to Obuasi's issue.
Before we go to the Obuasi issue, there's actually a video I want us to take a look at.
Very well.
And then we can delve deeper into the Obuasi issue. So let's take a look at this report.
In the early hours of Sunday, some illegal miners in Obuasi went on rampage following the killing of their colleagues in a clash with the military. The illegal miners had besieged one of the abandoned concessions of Anglo Gold Ashanti when they were confronted by military personnel on guard. Baba, who narrowly escaped the open fire, recounts events leading to the shooting incident.
300 plus. Nti soldier phone ba na dem be pack e mo castle wo ho. And a soldier commander no call the chino G phone or receive call be.
Those of us there were more than 300. When the soldiers came, they came to park their vehicles, and the commander stepped back to receive a call. During that time, our leaders were on their knees, pleading with them. After the call, he cocked his gun and opened fire on us. They shot for almost 30 minutes.
Almost 30 minutes. Almost 30 minutes. Meanwhile, soldier, Obi Jania, see and shooting a cheek. What I say?
At least 8 of the miners have been confirmed dead, while several others sustained varied degrees of injury to their arms, chest, legs, and other body parts. What wrong have you done, AGA? We are living in our own town, but you are denying us food, and now you are killing us. Everyone finds livelihood from the communities they live in. So must we. We did not go to where the company is working. We went to an abandoned site.
Company baby we juma nya ho ne ko yewu baby wo je juma ye more than 7-8 good years wo nye juma wo ina efu ba na so mama mo nko ha na wo si mi enko kula ye le ko.
The Ghana Armed Forces, in a statement, indicated they returned fire in self-defense when the illegal miners fired at their troops on duty. The irate miners, in retaliation, hit the principal streets of the town and set ablaze 4 vehicles of subcontractors of the mine, of which one crashed into a nearby shop and torched properties. We couldn't salvage anything. It's only yesterday that my sister restocked the shop. Over 30,000 cedis worth of items have been destroyed.
So where I'm currently standing is the Obuasi traffic lights in Obuasi. And what you see behind me is a debris of some of the vehicles that were bent in the morning when the illegal miners came to this particular enclave to render their displeasure for what has happened at the mine. And just across the road or down the road is where it leads to the mine, one of the mining concessions that we have, or the main Anglo-Gold Ashanti Obuasi mine area. But for the residents who live in this particular community, they are saying that they want security tightened in the coming days because they do not know what will happen.
We do not know what has happened in Tutuka. A little movement in town, then everyone begins to run away. Hear the siren wailing. It's scary living here now. I woke up at dawn and all of a sudden I am confronted with this. You can't have a peace of mind here. Both private and public schools in Obuasi East and Obuasi municipalities have been temporarily closed down amidst the escalations. Students and teachers of these schools have been asked to stay home for 2 days until tempers are calmed. George Kumsin is Director of Education at Obuasi Municipality.
We cannot guarantee the safety of both learners and then teachers. So we discussed with the Regional Director of Education and we have agreed that for tomorrow and possibly Tuesday, let's look at the situation. If it's calm, then we go back to school.
How would this impact education in Obuasi?
The contract hours for tomorrow will be made. And if it is made, I mean, as you are aware, means that getting back the hours to recoup whatever should have been lent will be gone.
The mining company has also instituted a raft of measures to safeguard their workers, including asking them to avoid official uniforms and any other items that associate them to the company. Samuel Abuaje is a member of parliament for Obuasi East.
Some of us will go into detail.
Some of us will go into detail the actions of the military. We will make sure the laws deal with anyone who gave the command for the military to open fire. Nobody is above the law.
Osha uniform pa. Osha Ghana mlanase.
Meanwhile, President Mahama has directed AGA to observe the medical costs of injured persons as it sets out to investigate circumstances leading to the tragic incident. For Joy News, my name is Emmanuel Bright Kweko.
So this is what has happened in Obuasi, and this is our topic for this morning, one of our topics for this morning. You can actually join us on 055-157-5757, 055-157-5757. Send a text message on that number, not a call. So it's a WhatsApp message you are sending to us. We've been joined by Honorable Alhaji Fuseini. He is a former Member of Parliament for Tamale Central constituency. Good morning, Honorable.
Yeah, good morning. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, good, good.
Great, great. First time meeting you.
Thank you.
Anyway,
first time?
Yeah, first time.
You're meeting a lot of first timers.
Exactly. And it's my first time on the morning show.
On the morning show this year.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Apparently, he was my MP.
Oh, yeah.
I still remember my house number D4.
Oh, anyway, so Nana, you were on the floor about it.
Yes. Well, I was just about commenting on the Obuasi issue, and I think that this issue about galamsees and residents trying to, or let me not say residents, but criminals trying to ride at the back of what is happening to engage in criminal activities ought to be dealt with. I mean, when I was coming, I was monitoring, and my view has been this. If we have voted a government or a particular political party into government, it does not give you the right to walk into somebody's office to take over, or to walk onto somebody's land or site to take over. There are procedures which you go through. And I remember very well when the MPP came into government in 2016, December. I think in 2017, we started witnessing some of the activities that is happening now. Most popular amongst them was the taking over vehicles from people who had served in government. I remember very well one of the names that came up was Abronye DC, who happens to be the Bono regional chairman currently. I was on one of the radio stations in the Bono, in Sunyani specifically, and I said that we are setting a certain precedent that we would regret in the future. Because you see, when you have done this, people take into record what you have done. And when we are not able to condemn and ask the legitimate agencies that are responsible for law and order to take over, and we brush it off as though it is just one of the political events, then it means you are making room for others to do same. And that is what we are witnessing today. And I think that the IGP and the military command and the other security agencies ought to come together as one and deal with the situation. They should not deal with the situation as a political one. See, what the security they do is that when a particular party is in government, they are careful dealing with the people who act as agents of that political party. Now, do you think, in any ways, that President Mahama would endorse the activities and the commentaries of his constituency and regional executives who are urging their members to do evil in this country? No. I mean, we need to be very blunt. I do not think that any of the MPs in the area would urge his supporters to go and take over offices. I mean, we've had situations in this country where even foot soldiers walked into a courtroom to set free an accused who was in a witness box. We said nothing, and that is what is repeating itself.
But isn't that one of the reasons why the NPP was
That's what I'm saying. So
two wrongs don't make a right.
No, I'm not justifying it.
Right.
What I'm saying is that there is the need for us to take drastic measures against it, so that it does not repeat in the future.
Right.
Because I mean, I personally have issues with some of the laws, and thank God they are going to have a constitutional review. You see, there are some of the criminal acts that people undertake, and when they go to court, then they are fined, say, 2,000 Ghana cedis because of the points or the fees per the constitution. I mean, if I come to attack a studio and I am arrested and taken to court and I am fined 2,000 Ghana cedis, I mean, sorry for my language, but anybody on the street could just afford 2,000 Ghana cedis. And once the person knows that this...
In this current economic state.
Yeah. 2,000 Ghana cedis
That's a lot of money.
to go into jail.
Maybe
but I'm just saying.
Maybe you can afford
No. I mean, anybody could just come and do the criminal activity here and go out there and find the 2,000 cedis, go to the court and pay the fine. It is not punitive enough. That is what I mean to say. It is not punitive enough. If these gentlemen who are and ladies who have been involved in these criminal activities are arrested and are punished severely, they are punished severely for the entire of the youth in that area to see. I do not think after the 2028 or 2032, when there is a change in government, any other person would have, for lack of a better expression, the balls to walk onto a legally acquired company to go and take over. Take over as who and as what?
All right, Nana. Let me go to Alhaji Fuseini. Alhaji, the presidency has also released a statement, and one of the things that the presidency said was that Anglo Gold Ashanti should go ahead and forfeit the bills of these individuals who were shot. Those who died, they should also forfeit their bills of the burial service. And it hasn't gone too well with most people because they feel that the presidency should have waited, done investigations to know who is at fault before telling Anglo Gold Ashanti to go ahead and do that.
So it's important for me this morning to say good morning to your good self. Like you said, this is the first time we're meeting on set. And to congratulate my former Deputy Majority Chief Whip.
Thank you.
He was very effective when we were in Parliament. I've always said that Parliament thrives on consensus building, negotiations, and crossing the aisle. And if you want an example of such activity, that person is my friend here, Nyendam.
Nice.
That's true.
Really, I went to his constituency to try to prevent him from going back to Parliament. But he's a strong man. He's a strong man. He's a strong man. And my brother Nana, God bless you. God bless you. First of all, we need to understand that the issue confronting us did not just start with the elections or did not come about as a result of the outcome of the elections. The issue has been around for quite some time now. In fact, I, as Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, visited Obuasi. I even entered the shafts. I was shown how illegal miners had gained access into the shaft by digging sometimes from their homes into the shaft. In fact, sometimes they pretend to be doing galamsey outside the perimeter of the concession of Ashanti Gold, but dig into the shaft. And so I've seen that at first hand. So I will not say that it is as a result of the change that people are taking advantage and going on. The question I ask is, how come that they immediately exchanged fire with the illegal miners? Were they doing that in self-defense?
Well, from their statement, yes.
Well, so if that's why the President has asked for an investigation. It is important for us to establish the facts as they exist. And if the activities were unlawful on the part of the military, then those who did that will be held liable. Now, you've asked why the president is saying that Ashanti Gold, even without investigations being carried out.
Honorable, let me ask you this before you move forward. Now, you said that if it's the fault of the military, they'll be held responsible.
Yeah.
However, these persons also invaded another territory, which they were not supposed to, which is illegal. So that alone is wrong, is it?
Yes. The fact that the invasion of the concession of Ashanti Gold is illegal does not justify the use of arms on, for instance, if they were unarmed miners. Okay, does not justify. Now, so that's why an investigation ought to be carried out. If it is the case that those miners were armed and they were first to fire, then...
As said by the military.
Well, I don't know yet. That's their side of the story.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. As said by the military, yes.
Then there could be some justification for the return of fire. And even if they fired, was it aimed at the military? Or were they just firing randomly to show their presence and their defiance of the presence of the military on the concession? So there's a need to carry out investigations. The second thing is, how come that the military were on the concession? Why? Is it now the business of government to secure the concession of concessionaire by putting the resources of the state at the benefit of the concessionaire? Is it the business? Because if you have come to this country for a concession, you must take steps to protect that concession. How do we deploy the military to assist concessionaires like Anglo Gold to protect their concession?
Haven't the military always been there?
Well, we have, I mean, when I was there, and then you will recall that even during the time of Kufuor, the military were withdrawn. During the time of Tamils, the military were withdrawn.
They've been deployed since, I think this military has been there since 2018.
2018?
Yes, the military has been there. They've been protecting, these places.
No, I don't think that it's right so to do. I think that what the Anglo Gold ought to have done, and they have got their release and advice to their security men, is that they should not wear a uniform that associates them with the mines because of reprisals. I think what the concessionaire Ashanti Gold should do is to find their own security men who will be patrolling the shafts, patrolling the concessions and warding off illegal miners than getting the military onto the site for the purposes of engaging illegal miners. That has been the case. In fact, it started long ago using the military until the state realized that a concessionaire cannot over-rely on the state establishment to provide security for the purposes of carrying out the business of the concessionaire. Because there are many avenues and ways that a concessionaire can seek the right to continue engaging in that business by entering into collaborative relationship with the communities in which they mine and being good citizens of the community. But if you use the state and the presence of the state on concessions, you reinforce the belief that the state is behind the concessionaire rather than being behind the people. So that was the argument then.
Okay.
But the impunity will have to stop. Illegal miners cannot assume that because the mine is within their area, their community, they have a right to invade the mine. The military too cannot assume and behave as if because they are armed, they can open fire at any time on the miners. Now, the release of the statement by His Excellency the President is to engender good neighborliness. Now, what is happening has evoked emotions. Now, the mine will not fold up, or the AngloGold will not just fold up and go. Now, the release is intended to build some level of rapport between the community and the company, so that when the situation is finally abated, the company can continue to work.
With regards to the statement that has been released. Anyway, let me read a few messages that have come in, and then I'll continue with my questions. Of course, we have some messages. If you haven't sent your messages yet, you can still go ahead and send it to us on 055-157-5757, 055-157-5757. Okay, so I'm going to start from here. And this one says, good morning, Mrs. Angel Roslyn. I'm enjoying your authentic show at Brekum, Thursday Market area. In fact, Joy Prime is still champion. My humble greetings to Elder Simon Ampabeng Treme, new NDC MP in Brekum East, and Prophetess Martha Konama. All right, thank you very much. Welcome, my dear Roslyn. Thank you so much. Says, I refuse to listen to Joy Prime since you left. Oh my God, please don't stop. We are together. We are one. Please never stop, okay? Honorable Seba Hassan, he says, I miss the way you have enough time reading our messages. That's the difference. Oh, I love you. I love you, but please don't stop watching. I'm begging all of you, please. Alhaji Hamza Pig Farm. Good morning, Roslyn, and welcome back. Thank you. My worry this morning is all about how state lands and bungalows are being sold out as if there is no tomorrow. Whoever thinks oral is illegal should proceed to court. In any case, what is the difference between oral and if you see something, say something? My dear, come to Tamale and see things for yourself. Lands belonging to the Tamale West Hospital have been sold out to functionaries of NPP party. Oral is all accountable and nothing. President Kufuor established the Office of Accountability in his government. What about that? Where were the security agencies when the Delta forces were beating up and chasing out people in their offices in Kumasi? They should give us a break. Enough of this arrogance. They should not try anything funny in this country, else they will regret it. We are begging you. Please, let's not let people regret anything. Let's take our time. Ghana is for all of us. I'm pleading with everybody. Good morning to you all. The president called is on right direction. Every soul lost under him should be investigated. What was the reason behind the clash? Every citizen life is vital, from Big J Tamale. Good morning, Roslyn. You are trying to say several. Please let the NPP man know that in 2017, NPP have done more dangerous things than in 2023. The same thing happened, and 2024 things to happen. A professional military man will not behave like this. NPP and Nanado and Baumia recruited their vigilantes guys into the military, and they are misbehaving around. So what is he saying? All the security services under Nanado and Baumia, which they recruited NPP boys, and some of them are or don't have ethic of the security services. Some of them are unprofessional. Daniel from Bando. Daniel, are you sure about this? Akonsi Gariba from Tamale. Good morning, Joy Prime. President Mahama should sign the LGBTQ plus bill now and pay for the first-year tertiary institution fees free for the Ghanaian children. As for President Mahama and the NDC, they don't lie, and I trust them. Okay. Mesa Majid from Bechem says, JDM always welcomed everybody on board to help him build the nation. He's not like others who always think they can do everything when power is given to them. His call for the Otumfo to assist in building Mother Ghana together is a good call, and it clearly shows that he is a good leader. We can now boast of having a president in the country. All the ministerial nominees deserve to occupy every position they are appointed to, and we need to support them. My greetings to Honorable Charles. All right, thank you. NDC and the Department of... Oh, you started with here. Good morning, Roslyn. Long time. Thank you. I'm back. I was on a break. Dear, let me shock you with this. On 7th of January 2025, about 20 excavators were moved out of my village without any security chasing them. Galamsey operators fell ECG pole down. We didn't have lights for over 4 days. The Galamsey people paid ECG to fix it and went back to the same place, digging left, right, center. No action from both ECG and securities. Most of our securities in the Galamsey communities have their moral respect and esteem to the Galamsey operators. Who licensed the pump action for them? I read online some time back that the renewal of the gun license is 12 Ghana cedis. Please, it's true, something should be done about it. NCC and the Department of Information should educate Galamsey communities of hazardous materials used to mine and its consequences to our health. All right, thank you very much for this. Good morning, Sister Rosalind. Much as this is an unfortunate situation, I'm so disappointed in the commentary of Nyindam. We are talking about Ghanaian youth, and all you do is politicize it by saying they went there to take over. Really? Meanwhile, both NDC and NPP youth are involved in this. When can we ever stop this? In any case, it's not just Obuasi. Before the election, similar thing happened in Ahafo, Kenya, between security and the youth when the youth visited Newmont, Ghana. Was that one too a takeover because their government was in power? Painful to listen to him this morning. Anyway, please, you take your time on him. What he was trying to explain something, but you know, when it comes to Galamsey matters, I can imagine like we are all very emotional about it because we don't want to fall sick. We know what the water body, the destroying of the water bodies and the lands can do to us. Hi, I'm Abdul. I think the government was too quick to pass the instant judgment. The company should bear the cost. Right, okay. The NDC had a meeting with them that when they win power, they are going to... I don't think so. I really wish that when we are sending these messages, we have our facts right. So I have seen that video that, you know, people are circulating saying that the NDC had a meeting, they are taking over. They never said they are taking. And I'll try and get the video on air for you all to see. What they said in that video was more of, you will go back, you pick up your axes, you pick up your daggers and go and dig. But to take over companies, I don't recollect that. All right, so this one says, good morning, Madam Host. Once again, President Mahama and NDC is showing off their history, autocratic leadership, incompetence, divide and rule. Ghanaians will soon regret for voting NDC and President Mahama. 4 years is just around the corner. Good morning, Basai Komla Matthias. All right, Alhassan Sise from Tamale Central says, good morning to everyone. The Obuasi clash is unfortunate and regrettable, and may the departed souls rest in peace. In fact, the Constitutional Review Committee should make sure they look into the superpowers given to the president, and some of the institutions as independent and autonomous should be looked at again. For example, the Electoral Commission. It looks like the Electoral Commission is something that you know, people really want a reform in the Constitution with. Rosalind, please, let's put partisan coloration aside. These Obuasi matters is an already existing problem for years now, okay? The military claiming that the miners had weapons was a lie. Someone gave the military orders, shoot at the civilians. This is not a matter of any invasion. They have always been encroaching on the leftovers of Aga. What the military did was illegal and unlawful. There must not be any situation where a military personnel was shot by a civilian. In any case, what were the military doing there in the first place? Since when do we use state armed to guard a private company? This is Rafiq, your Friday Zoom guy. All right, Rafiq, thank you very much for sending your message. Good morning, Rosalind. Welcome back. Thank you. We miss you. I miss you too. Please, will somebody tell me, tell the outgone president, Akufo-Addo, that the one-term president, as he chose to be calling President John Dramani Mahama, is going to be the longest-served president under the Fourth Republic after this 4 years of his presidency, with the inclusion of years served after the demise of President John Evans Atta Mills. Stephen Opoku Saki from Michelle Camp. What you plant or sow is what you harvest. This is what the NDC and JDM promised the youth of this country in their 419 24 hours economy. We should be prepared for more of such happenings in the coming days. Aziz Bayo. This is Abdul, and he says that politicians should be mindful of what they promise the public and the youth when they are in opposition, So it's clear that the people were NDC supporters, period. We have a long way to go. Were they NDC supporters, Alhaji Yunusa? Okay. Good morning, Madam Host. We, the youth, have to be very careful the way we approach security people. So therefore, the company should not take any bill because of the investigations didn't complete. So self-defense is very important. Rewa. I think that the most important thing is that the investigations will definitely happen and we'll get to know if they were armed or not, because the military is claiming that they retrieved some pellets and pump action guns as well. Good morning, Rosalind. If the action of these illegal miners is not condemned, I bet you these NDC thugs will soon take over the presidency. Ike from Koforidua. Good morning, Rosalind. Welcome back. Please remind the NPPs that the 2024 elections are over and their presidential candidate, Mr. Digital, Dr. Economic Messiah, got 38. I'm begging you. All right, so let me see if I have just one more, and then I will come back and read all your messages. Good morning, sister. After winning power, what again? Abba, NDC, shine your eyes. Lastly, I need your number. You need whose number? Wow. Okay. So we are still on the Galamsey. I will take your final take on it, and then move to our next topic. So I'll start with you, Honorable.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. Then, you know, we have a nation to build collectively. It's our responsibility. Certain times, we may not be able to say certain things when we are on stage. But facts are facts. You cannot contradict them. If you listen to the video you played, I wish you played the NDC constituency chairman's voice.
Okay. Is it the one?
Yeah, the one you just played.
Yes.
You know, it's a long
Yes.
thing. Where Yamin and all those people were there, and the guy was. He said the people went there to. They are hungry. They went there to look for food to eat. But the NDC constituency chairman wants assurance that the people will be allowed to go there, knowing very well that that area is somebody's concession. Why will you do that? Two, I agree with my senior when he said, must we all the time use state agencies to protect private companies? It's a different debate altogether. I don't know how. He's been a minister for lands, and he perfectly understands some of these issues better than I am. I haven't been there before. But I think that this is not a new practice. You see, when, unfortunately, young men are misinformed during campaigns, we say a lot of things to them. The reality is not. When you come to govern, there are certain things that we told the people. It can never be implemented. Young men must understand this. Look at what happened at McDonald's salt, is it sorghum, whatever. Yeah. Look at the invasion. People just went there, looted the place just because there's been change of government. This practice can continue. You sure that if there were some kind of, excuse me to say, some military or some police or some other people, private security people, would they have been saved?
But if even it can't continue, must they be killed?
No, you see, we all admitted something. How did they go there? What was the approach? He started by saying that we all wish they went there without arms. But if they had gone there with arms and they have even started, just like the military, the statement from the military suggests, then who should be held responsible? I wanted to also to get some information from him. When you asked that, the statement from the presidency, asking the Anglo-Good Ashanti to bear the cost for both burial and people who unfortunately sustained some kind of injury. I wanted that statement cleared from him. And I will still wish for that. Are you getting me? It's if Anglo-Good Ashanti willingly decides that, okay, we want to take responsibility of this cause, I think it's a good idea. But for the presidency to instruct immediately that they should take responsibility of A, B, C, you see, you energize wrongdoers without going into the merits of what really happened. And I think that, like I said, we all have a nation to build. We can only build a nation by respecting the rules of this country. Galamsey, it's been a canker for all of us to deal with. And he knows very well that, like he said, people dig from their homes, enter through the tunnels as long as they want to enter that place. Some people died. We want to encourage our young ones that, look,
wrong is wrong.
Wrong is wrong. Don't allow yourself. Like I said, look, these people that are gone, even in the event that we go into the issues and then we realize that the military acted unprofessionally, would that bring back your life? No, you are gone. You have family. The consequences, who is there to take care of them? There won't be anybody. So my plea is to everybody. These issues cannot be too political. We don't want to be too political. There are videos that are on the social media, what people said before 2024 elections, and how people are behaving, and what people are calling for. These things don't build a nation.
Right.
That's what I would just say.
All right,
yes.
Honorable. Nana?
See,
Nana, what do you think about, you know, the president's statement that Anglo-Gold should forfeit the bills of these persons? That particular statement is causing a lot of conversations out there.
I believe that we would have to leave that particular line. Myself, when I read it, I was trying to look out for the legalities of it, whether or not because it happened on their premises, whether or not because it was an invasion, and you know, let us look at the legalities. I think that the concessionaires, they always have a framework of how they deal with accidents and whether in criminal invasion, whatever it is, they have a way of dealing with it. I do not have the details of it, and I would not want to make comments, but at least on humanitarian grounds, on humanitarian grounds, right, the people are there. But you see, there is something that has been missing for quite some time now in most of our corporate institutions and companies. That has to do with a proper corporate communication. If you have lived in a mining area before, you would realize that there's always a link between the community and the mining company. And that link falls in corporate communication, whereby the company or the miners or mining company actually goes an extra mile to being part of the community and making them understand their activities and making them understand their responsibilities and the barriers therein. So we ought to push these companies to improve. There's a way forward to improve on corporate communication with within the communities, where they find themselves. Because whether or not, you see, Honorable made a statement, says Anglo-Gold Ashanti is not going to close down. The community is not going to close down. When it happened,
they have to find a way of living together.
Yes, they have to find a way, and the only way that can help is when they have a proper communication with the people. Communication goes beyond just talking. It goes into education, educating the community to how to live within a mining zone and all of that. I mean, Obuasi is an old mining community. And I think that probably because it is an old mining community, the company has been relaxed on its responsibility in educating the community or the people, the residents, on how to live within the confines.
Well, we don't know that for a fact, though.
Oh, no, if they did, I think that it will not go to this extent.
You never know.
All right, if they did.
For that, because we don't know the kind of communication that goes on between them and the people.
And I am saying that
however,
there is the need to
you
improve.
Know, if we look at what happened last year with regards to Galamsey, where the people had taken law into their hands, mining in water bodies and all of that, when they didn't have to, yet education was ongoing. Look at what people were on the street talking about Galamsey and all of that. So you don't know the communication that has gone on. However, the people can decide to do what they want to do.
When you're on the street talking, when you're on TV talking, when you're on radio talking, the impact is different from when you have engaged the people. Because it goes beyond just the companies engaging the people. The Honorable has been in lands and natural resources before. Sometimes there is the need to even draw in from the back opinion leaders and political leaders to take up the responsibility of managing the situation and managing the communication lines between the company and the residents. Because they tend to listen to their own better. There are many times that in the Ahafu areas, they have even engaged, from the back, the services of religious leaders to use it as sermons in their churches and in their various mosques, so that the people stay away from the no-go areas, because it's very dangerous. Now, Honorable, I don't know, when you were there, yes, is government still holding the 10% of Ashanti Gold?
Yes, government, yes.
Government is still owning this 10%. So, I would want to believe that the security being provided would be there to protect the interest of government, the interest of Ghana, because that 10% share in Ashanti Gold is for the people of Ghana. And if it's for the people of Ghana, then we have the responsibility to protect it.
Right.
So that is why it is important for an investigation to be carried out.
Yes.
How did the military go there? Who deployed them? What were their instructions? How were they keeping the watch? Remember the case of Major Mahama? Why were they there? And the kind of things conversation that surrounded the death of Mahama, Major Mahama. Shanji mining in the Upper East region. You recall that case too, where local community members invaded the mines and the mining company introduced some chemicals into the mine, and some of them died. And so these things have been happening. For me, the issue is just more than people being of political coloration. How did we even come to legalize small-scale mining? Before small-scale mining was legalized, if you read the literature on Obuasi area, that was precisely during the time of former President Rawlings. They were running battles with the military, running battles. So we came to realize two things: that the presence of government in the mining areas could not be sustained. Two, we needed to provide employment for the youth. Yeah. And that's why when you read the law, the Minerals and Mining Act, it says small-scale mining is exclusively for the Ghanaian. This is because we needed to provide jobs. Now, if we look at the NDC manifesto, and it starts at page 77 of the manifesto, there is no way, there's nowhere in the manifesto that where NDC has said, we will allow impunity in the small-scale mining sector. No, there's no. You can't allow it. You see, you can't allow it.
But some of your people during campaign, when they met with
these are mere paps. These are mere paps. You see, mining is a very, it's an activity that impacts negatively on the environment, if not regulated, everywhere. Our waters, our health as people, our forest cover. And mining, unregulated mining, represents an existential threat to us as a people. It will be remiss on the part of government not to regulate mining, because we will simply be selling our birthright for nothing. And I have said that if you go to Obuasi area, the people who engage in small-scale mining are not defined by party coloration. They are driven by wealth, they need to get money, and by hunger. That is why a platform was created. And even Obuasi mine, if you care to know, Anglo Gold Ashanti had once upon a time released part of their disused land to community for mining purposes. So there have been that engagement, okay? But no matter the level of engagement, people will want to commit illegalities. Sure. Because if they feel that the law is lax or they can get away with the illegalities, they will do so. So for me, the directive, and it's important that we look at the directives within the concept or context of good corporate citizenship. Anglo Gold is an international firm with a reputation. They don't want to be identified with unlawful activities. Their shareholders will ask questions why they shocked the people. Were there no other better ways of dealing with that? Yeah. Their shareholders will ask them. And so they want to be good corporate citizens. The president is helping them to do that. Reach out to the community. See how you can meet the people halfway.
But it's an instruction. It wasn't a communication to them. It wasn't a dialogue that they had with the company. The president never had a dialogue. It was an instruction from the president to them.
Have been killed.
Yes, but Nana, you still have to investigate. It's wrong.
What are you doing? Are you prioritizing the company?
No. No.
Alhaji,
see, let's call a spade a spade. Wrong is wrong.
Yes.
And I will not sit here and say that
but a life has been lost.
Wait, Nana. Shooting them was right in any way.
Yes.
Of course, there were other means. But then, until investigation is done, you don't know who is wrong. So what probably should have been done should have been a dialogue between the presidency and the company, reach a consensus and say, out of that, we have agreed that we will pay for the bills of ABCD. Because if it comes off as an instruction, if somebody invades your home, and to you, if the person was armed, will you defend yourself? If yes, and then you are instructed without a dialogue, you feel that the president has taken sides without a dialogue. So that's all I'm saying. A dialogue, investigation, and there's nothing wrong with the company paying for these things.
The Constitution vests the Constitution vests all mineral resources in the president.
Yes.
That's number one.
Yes.
Anglo Gold operating in Ghana is a corporate citizen of Ghana.
Yes.
Okay? That corporate citizen of Ghana is under the ambit of the president, Article 58 of the Constitution. Okay? Now, the president is saying that Anglo Gold, you are in a better position.
And we own 10% of the
shares. You are in a better position to douse the fire, to calm emotions, if you reach out.
That's not how it was said.
That was not the way. You see, the
That's
way you are.
You wanted all those to be captured in that letter.
Anyway, so I wish we could move on to another topic, but unfortunately we can't because we almost done. So let me just.
It's different from what is out there.
Well, that is the intent. That is the intent of the statement.
Good. Yeah. I think that is a good idea. Are you getting? Anglo Gold Ashanti has all it takes
to do that.
But you see, when there is a crash like this, and people think that, look, we are in charge. We are in charge. And then all of a sudden, that power says, look, go and do A, B, C, D. Sometimes it can be misinterpreted.
There's no misinterpretation.
It can be misinterpreted.
No. You take care of the debt.
I think that as corporate Ghana, as you said, we ought to be able to clearly come out to deal with the issue of galamsey. See, there are no jobs in the communities. These young men and women do not want to move out of their communities to work. Now, if I've worked in a mining community before, in rural banks. Now, when you have even given them the opportunity to do other jobs, because of how much they earn, how lucrative doing galamsey is, they do not want to leave. All right? So as corporate Ghana, how do we deal with the issue?
And nations have dealt with it too.
Yes.
You remember the American Wild West?
Yeah.
It was just simple.
Yes. But I mean, South Africa has dealt with
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If you look at the 10-pointer Alan Tremantin put out during the heat times of Galamsey, it spells out systematically how to deal with the issue within a matter of 10 years. Because, you see, the people do not want to leave. If they do not want to leave, how do you manage them? How do you build them up? How do you make them do it properly that it does not crash with the bigger mining companies? How do you deal with the situation that they even develop skills and technology that after 5-10 years, they are entrepreneurs within that field that have been able to build up themselves to even compete in terms of market space with these mines. That is the only way out, because they have interest.
All right, Nana. Anyway, so we are just hoping that everything will be calm, and of course, after investigations, whoever or the corporates will be found, accountable for whatever they did. Now, today, the Minister Designate for Ministry of Education, that is Honorable Haruna Idrisu.
Hey, leader.
Yes, he will be going for his vetting. And some people are saying that he doesn't deserve to be there. Others are saying he's so credible, he's going to fix the system. And I'm going to ask my guests what they think about Honorable Haruna Idrisu, who is the Minister Designate for Education.
So you should start from his colleague and friend.
No, I'll start from you. I'll end with him.
Oh, no, but I asked a critical question one time. I said that, what is our definition of competency? What is our definition of experience? You understand? I think that Haruna has been with LIBA Ministry. He's been a student leader. He has been a minority leader. He's been a majority leader. The Education Ministry as one ministry that you need a very experienced hand who has so much knowledge in terms of managing people. Somebody who he himself can be able to manage his own ego. Somebody who can be able to blend knowledge and maturity. Because that is one field where you would have students to deal with, you would have the ministry to deal with, you would have the professionals to also deal with, and the parents to also deal with. So when you have a matured person who's revered and respected in that position, then you give the person gets the opportunity to be able to weave properly the area. And one key responsibility that he will be faced with, or obligation or challenge you'll be faced with, is how to go about the review of the free senior high school. That is very critical. And actually also to be able to manage with the curricular development. Because there has been so many changes in the system. There has been so many confusion between the political policy and the educational policy.
Okay, Nana.
So he should be in that position. And this time, his role as minister before in labor would come to play here. Because as for the education sector, they will not leave you. As for the strike there,
Honorable.
Yes, I think let me use the opportunity to congratulate him as a leader. I've been in leadership with him, and I don't doubt his ability to perform. I don't doubt at all. He's seen a lot. I'm sure this is his fifth term as a member of parliament. So if he's able to serve that successfully, he would have been doing about 20 years. Is that the case?
Yeah. It's more.
24.
Yeah.
24 years as a member of parliament. He's headed trade before, labor. He's been the majority leader, the minority leader. He has experience to manage education. We all know how tough education is. And I'm sure President Mahama, knowing the type of person he is, he's tested him so well, knows that maybe at this time, he will be able to deliver. And I don't doubt, like I said, look, as a minister, the systems are already in place. Your ability to go and then foster teamwork, to bring out the best from the team, the system, it will either make you perform or not perform. If you go to the educational sector, the systems are already in place. He's going there with the vision and mission of his party, which is the party manifesto. How well is he able to whip up the people
Do you think
to accept?
He can fix the problems that were complained by the citizens with regards to free SHS?
I think that it's not about him. It's about what the NDC want to achieve. And he is the man to lead that at the educational sector. His ability to unify the people, his ability to bring that idea and make sure that people in the ministry buys into that idea, his ability to energize and listen to every opinion. Like he rightly said, he's been a student leader. So students are there. Parents are there. The people who are so much interested in education, everybody has a role to play. How open is he going to be to listen to them? And I think that he's seen a lot. He's worked in this country for 24 years.
4 years in Parliament.
It's not a mere achievement, but he's a human being. There may be some lapses, but I think that knowing him,
He's the best man for education.
if not the best man, he will do his best.
Okay.
As for human beings, we all come with our manners.
All right.
But I sincerely believe that Aruna, I know, will not do bad.
There are some
Okay.
ministries you can't be the best.
Yes, you can say
Education,
you are the
sports.
best. Yes. But this man is his countryman. They are right-hand side men. They know each other better.
That's why.
Exactly.
So you said the best for the
And
last.
they are all from Tamale boys.
Honorable Idrissa,
Yes.
your brother, Minister for Education, designate.
But haven't you seen the hand of the Grand Master in placing the appointees? Don't you see that John Dramani Mahama is placing at the various ministries what he considers to be the best amongst his men? And he's choosing them carefully. Hasn't that manifested itself in the way he's gone about choosing his ministers? So, like I asked yesterday, why are they singling out Haruna for discussion? In fact, John Dramani Mahama is taking pains to put his best foot forward. And like a grandmaster in chess, he's moving the chips in a way that will secure a legacy for him after 4 years.
We are singling him out because if we look at the education ministry, it was the biggest conversation during elections where we had the NPP say, this is our baby, free SHS. We had the NDC say, we'll review it. We'll make sure we fix the problems there. Some people even thought that the NDC will cancel free SHS. And so him coming in as minister, what is he bringing to the table?
He's bringing experience. He's bringing leadership. It's true I've been with Haruna even before we all entered politics. I know him. Rosalind, he say, if a person promises you a hat, look on his head and see whether he's wearing one.
Maybe he left it in the house.
Haruna, Haruna has demonstrated a level of competence that inspires people and has inspired the president to put him at that sensitive ministry. Tell me, he's been to 4 ministries. To 4 ministries. Where has he failed? He's been to communication.
Yeah.
Did he fail? He's been to trade and industry. Did he fail? He's been to labor, manpower and labor. Did he fail? He's been the leader of the party in parliament for 7 years. Did he fail? In fact, in 4 years, he was able to reduce the numerical strength of the MPP to 137, and there was leadership. He's not failed. Why do you think that he will fail at the Ministry of Education?
He will have a failure.
And he's a leader. A leader brings out the best in his people. When he gets to the ministry, his role will be to bring out the best in the directors, the head teachers, the vocational institutions, and also ensure that the free SHS is put on a very sound pedestal. He's going to do that because Article 76 makes him a cabinet minister. And then he will help advise the president on the policies concerning and touching education.
All right.
He's going to do that.
All right. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for being here. We are super grateful that you made time for us this morning. And of course...
There's no oral.
There's no oral. You wanted to talk about oral. Don't worry, next week we'll do oral. Next week we'll do oral. All right, so a very big thank you.
Because my good friend here, his party organized a press conference, and he's in parliament.
Yes.
So I thought that we would give him...
The lifespan of oral is very short.
No, which press conference?
Anyway,
They were pending for a press conference.
Gentlemen, a very big thank you to you. A very big thank you to you for being here. Nana Yao represented the Movement for Change Party. Of course, Matthew Nyindam, Honorable. He's the former Deputy Majority Chief Whip, and also MP for Pandai. He represented the NPP. And Honorable Alhaji Fuseini, who is a former Member of Parliament for Tamale Central, also represented the NDC. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for being here. I think we can have you every Monday, right? Yes. So let's try and have you every Monday. Let's do this every Monday.
That was a trap for you to...
All right, so a big thank you to Franco Trading Enterprise for having her back. If you're looking for any gadgets, make sure you go to Franco Trading Enterprise. They have mobile phones, television sets, CCTV cameras, all of them. We've got them covered for you. When you take a look on your screen right now, the numbers on there, pick it and call us. You can download the app on your phone to make things very easy, which is Franco Trading app, or visit our website for further inquiries to www.francotradingenterprise.com. Franco Trading Enterprise, still, phone papa pair feed. Now, there's a lot happening in the world of sports. I don't want to miss it. There's a lot happening also with regards to trends. I don't want to miss it. And of course, there are models. So if you want to be a model, well, this particular show is for you, and you don't want to miss it as well. On that note, we'll take a quick break. When we come back, we have more for you. My name is Roslyn Felly. Do stay.
Newsflash was brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise. Still, fun papa fee.